Okay, this is the last question, all about sketching trig graphs. And in this one, they gave the graph and they ask you to a bunch of questions about this graph. First, this is the function. F of x equals minus 2 times the sine of x. And there it is. It's a sine graph. Well, you know the sine graph. Normally, it would start at 0, go up to 1, 180, and down like this. But there's a negative in front of there. That's why it got turned upside down. And this minus 2 is telling you about how tall it is, the amplitude. And the period, how long it takes to go through a wave for sine, is 360 degrees. You have to know that. Well, that makes it easy to answer the first questions. Give the coordinates of A, C, and E. Well, there's the sine wave, and we know that half of the wave, it goes to 180 degrees. We know it starts at 0 and 0, goes C is 180 and 0, and E is 360 and 0. So there's the coordinates of A, C, and E. Pretty easy. What about these places where they turn at the top and the bottom? Well, you have to know, normally it's 90 degrees goes with 1. But this is turned upside down, and it's got multiplied by minus 2. So you could put it in your calculator and go, the sine of 90 is 1 times minus 2. It's minus 2. You don't need to put it in your calculator because you know that at 270 degrees, right in between C and E, it goes up 2 units because that's the amplitude. It goes up 2 units, and that's why it's 270 and 2. You could put the sine of 270, it's negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 2, but there's B and D's coordinates. Let's look at the last part. The next question says, state the amplitude and period of F. Well, gee, we've already talked about it. The period is 360 degrees, and how tall is this graph from the middle of the wave to the top? The amplitude is 2. If it was a sound wave, it would be how loud it is. But that's the amplitude. Now, for which values between 0 and 360 degrees, so just this section, for which values is f of x negative? Well, let's take a look here. You see right here, this is f of x. This is the function sine. Well, when it's up above the x-axis, it's positive. So it can't be anywhere. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. It can't be anywhere. Let me grab onto that line. It can't be anywhere in there. There's where it's going negative. And look, every time I'm taking this red little dotted vertical line, it's showing all the negative values. Where does it go below the line? Well, in between 0 and 180 degrees. And this is how you write it. When, for which values is it negative? I wouldn't say equal to them because it would be 0, which isn't negative. So you have to say x is smaller than 180 degrees, less than or greater than 0 degrees. And that's how you show those values of x. So there you go.